Hey everyone, this is the recording for the lesson of May 18th for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. If you need any help with this lesson, you know how to reach out to me by this point. I just wanted to go over some context and just go over some parts of the assignment so we're on the same page. I wanted to just make sure that we understand where we are in the world. This is the world, right? This is where we are in the United States, Pennsylvania. We're right over here. Right, this is us, but if we zoom out of our own little bubble and we cross the Atlantic Ocean, we will get to Europe. And this is where Portugal is. They share the same peninsula, and Spain, and France, England, Italy, Germany, right? All of these European countries. And then just to the south of it is Africa. Okay, so when we talk about African, we are talking about this continent, and when we talk about Europe, a reminder, this is what we're talking about. So for this week, we had an assignment called African Masks. So if you don't know where to find the assignment, obviously you already did. I'm going to go to my Google Classroom. I'm always going to start with the classwork tab. I'm going to start with the week that we're currently on. I see one assignment called African Masks. I'm going to open to where it says View Assignment. I'm going to make sure that I read all the directions. Once again, Mr. Roman's asking me about spelling and capitalization. So I want to make sure I'm capitalizing things correctly. And I'm also responding to the questions. Here we go. So I'm going to open it up. And so, yes, there are a total of 19 slides. You don't need to go through it all at the same time, but it's relatively quick. And I'm just going to give you a just general basic understanding of what this assignment is about. So at the end of the assignment, hopefully you will understand the connection between Africa and Europe in terms of art, and then explain what really happened. What was the kind of interaction that happened that is kind of controversial given the fact that European historians keep on saying that there is no history in Africa. It's just a place of darkness. So here we go. Our first slide is two pieces of art. We have a painting by somebody, and we have a mask made by somebody. And I want you just to observe the differences and similarities of this mask. Something that I notice that sticks out to me is the nose. The long nose sticks out to me. The kind of interesting pear-shaped head where it's just kind of not a full oval. Also just kind of like an interesting triangular face. The eyes are kind of not really what like human eyes really are. It looks kind of similar to me. It's different, but these two pieces kind of speak to me as being similar. So we're going to talk about masks. So the first question, masks everywhere. Everyone is a ninja because of the COVID virus. I want you to just to kind of tell me three ways or times where we wear masks. So for example, one is on Halloween as part of your costume. And a costume is like a ritual, right? Costumes are meant to be different. They're meant to represent someone else. Okay, so just to kind of get your brain flowing, three reasons why people wear masks. We know why people are wearing masks now. When you're done, you go to slide number 3. You will notice on the right side is a comedy and tragedy mask. In ancient Greece, when they had plays, they were kind of either comedies or they're tragedies. And if a character was a humorous character, they would wear the mask that was like on the right. And if they were a character that was kind of like evil or had like a tragic dynamic, they would wear a tragic mask. And then the one on the bottom right is from Aztec in Mexico. So here we have a reading, and you're just going to tell me what's one reason ancient human societies used masks? So we know in our society we use them for protection. We sometimes use them to like decorate. We use them as our Halloween costume. What are the reasons that ancient human societies use them? I gave you a hyperlink to the word donned. If you don't know what donned means, I gave you a definition. Remember, blue underlined means link, so we click to open it. So I click it once and I click to open it. All right. Slide number 4. Very, 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 very brief history of African masks, but just so we have a simple understanding. We don't have much time left in school, but I wanted to make sure we had a little bit of reading on it. So 2 reasons why African communities use masks. And then what animals does this look like up to you on the right? To me, it looks like a deer, but that's just, I don't know. I don't really know. It doesn't really look like a real animal, but it's got antlers, so it's got something with antlers. Maybe not a deer. So maybe like a, I don't know. I don't know. So you tell me, what animal does it look like to you? Slide 5, we see 2 different types of masks. They're called masks, and they were worn in Africa. They're very common, but they're a little bit different. So I'm going to read slide number 5 and tell me what's different about these masks than the ones that were there before. And if you remember from way back when we had the first assignment after the closure, there are some rumors going on and some evidence to say that the pangolin, remember that this animal was partially responsible for starting the coronavirus because it somehow interacted with the bat, and then the bat's blood got into the pangolin, or vice versa. But at first, people were suggesting that pangolins may have caused the coronavirus. Well, fun fact, penguins, this is what a pangolin looks like, they're actually from Africa. And we can actually see a pangolin on an African mask. But here they were all the way in China, being sold at a wet market. So kind of going full circle there. Right. Slide number 6, I gave you a video. So what I want you to do is you're going to play this video. Is it going to let me play? Yep. You're going to play the video. And you look, it's 8 minutes, but it's just basically a bunch of masks. You can kind of scroll it, let it play automatically, or you can kind of just scroll with your finger by going however you want to do it. I want you to find 2 masks that you like. So let's just say I like this one. So what time of the video? So hold up. So my thing is just being weird because I'm presenting. But you would say time in the video like 5:11. That's when you saw it. That's when you saw. And what did I like about it? It had weird things, almost like cards sticking out of the head. It could be something you want. Or like, I liked the colors. I don't care what is your reason. I want you to tell me about 2 masks and then tell me why you liked it. All right? That's all I want you to do here. But I do need you to watch this because it's important that you understand what kind of masks Africans were making. Because they're very interesting. And like this one's crazy. Look at this one. Look at this. What is that? I guess that's just like playing. Like that's crazy. The head is on top, and then the face is like a cage. Who even thought of that? That to me is super cool. So maybe you really like that one. You want to tell me about that one. And then I want to tell me, what do you notice about how the human face is designed? The nose, the eyes, anything look unique or catch your eyes? So from the ones maybe that you kind of talked about why you like, I want you to tell me in number 7, what sticks out to you? Like what do you notice about some of the figures? And hopefully you'll notice that the eyes could be really squinted. Sometimes the nose is very long or very thin. Not in all cases, but as I scroll around, I see it's pretty common to see this long, thin nose and kind of these squinty eyes, right? Not everywhere, but there's lots of examples of a long nose with a small mouth, you know. So I want you to just, there you go, and a long nose again. I want you to kind of look around and tell me what you think is interesting. So Africans are making masks for decades, for centuries. Meanwhile, in Europe, on the other continent that's kind of like the superior continent, meanwhile in Europe, somebody named Picasso, who you might have heard of, comes onto the fray. And what I wanted to show you is before Picasso kind of came onto the scene, there was a different kind of art. So actually, if you click on a picture, you'll be able to see it in bigger form. So if you click this, you'll see a link, and you can open it up to a bigger screen. So before Picasso, oh god, I use the same link to both? It's okay. Let's see. Yeah, I guess so. It's all right. So before Picasso, things looked like this, and after Picasso, they looked like this. What is the difference? I think that these look more real. That's what I want you to think about. These look like somebody was trying to make the painting as if it was real life. And here, obviously, the painter is not trying to paint things real. They have some level of creativity or interpretation or feel that is not real. So I want you on the next slide to compare it. After observing the before and after paintings from the previous slide, what is one difference that you notice between the styles? How are the people's faces painted? So at least maybe pay attention to the faces, how they vary from this, to what we see here. Okay? And then I just want you to tell me, which one do you like more? Like, do you like the ones that look more real? Do you like the ones that look like this? So you just tell me which one you like more and why. Very simple. So then we're going to talk about who was Pablo Picasso. So I want you to watch this video. It's not the entire video. It's just a snippet. So he's a world famous artist. I want you to tell me where he's from and how is he described in the video. So you're just going to play this video to yourself. I think I only let it play for like a minute. It doesn't go the entire time. And I want you to tell me, according to this video, where is he from and how does the video describe him? Okay? To give you a perspective, on slide 11, I give you 4 clips of different music videos or of musicians that all reference Picasso in some type of way. Basically, he's pretty influential. So I wanted you to just kind of click all these videos. They're very short, just so you can get a sense of his popularity and the fact that he's getting referenced by musicians all the time. Okay. So while Picasso became very famous, there's a story behind it. And while he is a genius on his own, he also was very inspired by what many believe to be Africa. Because at some point in the 1900s, in the early 1900s, he actually visited museums that contained artifacts that have just been taken out of Africa. Because Europe was going into Africa, invading it, colonizing it, and obviously if you're going to go into somebody's land and you find some artwork that you've never seen before that looks really cool, you're probably going to take it. So a lot of European museums at this time were showing and displaying lots of stuff that basically was stolen from Africans. Okay. So slide 13 through 17 are basically just short readings telling you about Picasso's kind of influence and how he came into that influence from African art. So you're just going to go through one by one, and you're going to respond to the questions, not allowed to read, but I do want you to learn about it. Again, I made you hyperlinks, so if you want to know what a cubist shape is or what naturalism is, you can click the links, and it will give you a little bit of information about what we're talking about. Now, for slide number 15 is important. I want you to think about what in this painting was influenced by African art. So here we have one of the most famous paintings ever. And again, I just clicked this. I clicked this little extension here. So, which faces look like they're kind of like African masks? Pretty obvious to me. We also notice something interesting. How do we know that they're masks? Well, we know that they're masks because the bodies of the women are white and their skin color is white. But the ones on the right are wearing masks, almost kind of like the people who are kind of absorbing and consuming this art in Europe aren't ready to accept a black body in a painting, but they're okay with accepting a white body with a mask on, maybe not knowing that that mask might have come from Africa. So I want you to tell me what in the painting you see is influenced by Africa. And then I want you to tell me, number 13, how did Picasso become familiar with African masks? So how do you even kind of come across these masks if he's all the way in Spain? And yeah, so what's kind of going on there? Why did Picasso even become acquainted with these masks? Okay. So once you get to 18, I want you to then go back to the first slide, and you're going to go and you're going to look at these two works of art. What you will realize, or what I'm going to tell you now, is that the one on the left is a European painting by one of Picasso. And the one on the right is a mask from West Africa. And that they're similar. And that it's hard to deny that Picasso was somehow using ideas from the sculptures that he saw in Africa to make his faces. And that is a conversation that people are having right now. So for number 18, I want you to explain to me how European art was influenced by Africa. The hint here is Pablo Picasso. Where is he from? How did he find out about Africa? How did his art change? So I want you to do as best as you can and tell me, how was European art influenced by Africa? When you are done, I'm going to ask that you go to Edpuzzle and you will see a video called Picasso Uncovered on Edpuzzle in your World History tab. Also, if I see you turn this in, I will give you this link automatically if you haven't gotten to it yet. I just want to make sure that people are not watching the video before they go through this assignment first. All right? So that is the lesson. Let me know if you have any questions. Leave me a comment. Again, if you need to leave me a comment, you go back into your assignment. So here is our assignment. Here is where you turn it in. If you want to close it before you're done, it saves. If you want to ask me a question, what do we do in number 13? You can ask me a question there and I will see it. All right, so that's it for today. Let me know if you have any questions and good luck, and I'll talk to you soon.